Good morning, my dear student. Now, chapter 9, Heredity and Evolution. So, this chapter also required for your second unit test. So, firstly, accumulation of variation during reproduction. During reproduction is the most important thing that will happen when this new generation. In this turn to reproduce, second generation will be different that they inherit from the first generation, as well as newly created differences. So figure 9 you see, we will represent the situation of single individual reproduces happen to asexual reproduction. If one bacterium divided and then the resultant two bacteria divide again, that means one bacteria divided, then two bacteria divided, then four bacteria, already multiple is going on. There will be only one very minor difference between them generated due to the small inaccuracies and DNA copy. DNA is the most important, already I told you. However, if sexual reproduction is involved, even greater diversity will be generated. As well as see when we discuss the rules of inheritance. Some rules of inheritance is given. So, all the variation species have equal chances of surviving environment in which they find themselves. Yes. Now we see different individual would have different kind of advantages. Bacteria that can be withstand heat will survive better in the heat wave. So we have discussed earlier selection of variation of environmental factor from the basis of evolutionary processes, as well as the discussed in later section. So we will discuss this one after. So now heredity. What is a heredity? Heredity is the most obvious outcome reproduced process still remain the generation individual of similar design. The rules of heredity determine the process of by which the three characteristics are reliably inherited. So inherited traits is what? Now what is exactly do we mean? Similarity differences. Inherited means trait means similarly or differences. Okay? We know that child bear all the basic features of human beings. Some child are not bearing the human bear basic characters. However, it does not look exactly like its parents, and human population shows a greater deal of variation. Sometimes you see the population increase. Sometimes parents, paternal, maternal, father's mother, both are not copying the same DNA or the same DNA is copying, but their parents, the children's orphans are not similar with them, exactly not looking them. Sometimes it became exactly, sometimes not exactly. So that's why here rules of the inheritance of traits Mendel contributed. So Mendel is who is the Mendel? Mendel is the father of genetics. This is called Mendel. So Mendel he decided that different rules. There are main two rules are you see. The rules of inheritance such traits human beings are related. Factor that both father and mother contribute practically equally amount of genetic material to the child. You have to underline this one. This one have to be underlined. Okay? The fact of the both the father and mother contribute practically equal amounts of genetic material of the child. That is number. This means that each trait be influenced by both paternal and maternal DNA. That means father side and mother side both have to contribute to that DNA. DNA means deoxyribose nuclease. So sometimes this question may become the write the two rule of inheritance of traits of Mendel contribution. So you should write these points. Fact of the both father and mother contribute practically equally amounts of genetic materials to the child. This means that each trait can be influenced by the both paternal and maternal DNA. That have to you have to write this. So in this way, the rule for the inheritance of traits, Mendel contribution, that exactly Mendel find out one very good solution. Now if everybody see, this is there are two types of plants you see. Here one is a tall plants, another is a short plant. Tall plants mean capital TT, short plants mean small TT. Now Mendel find out, Mendel used a number of contrasting visible character. Contrasting means this word means what? Contrasting. Contrasting means one species bearing the both paternal and maternal character is called contrasting. Contrasting visible character of garden peas: round, wrinkled, tail, short, round, wrinkled, seed, tall, short, white, violet flower, so and so. So first he took the pea plants with the different characteristics, tall plant and the short plant, produced the progeny from them and calculated the percentage of tall and short progeny. Now see these two, one is a tall plant, another is short plant. After this cross fertilization, the first generation, that means it is called first generation, F1. The first generation, all plants are tall figure. All plants are tall figure. His first generation is showing the all plants are tall figure. After that, between these tall plant, self-pollination takes place. Self-pollination, cross-pollination or cross-fertilization takes place. Then he see the next F2 generation. The F1 generation he found the all tall figure. Then F2 generation he showed the only 3 is a tall figure, 1 is a short figure. This is the mental contribution. He find out this is the progeny of the parental plants are course are all tall. However, the second generation, F2 generation, the F1 tall plants are not all tall. 2 only, 3 also tall, 1 is short. This is called dwarf. So this difference between them. After his experiment, he found out this is a 3:1 generation. The 3:1 generation he found out. So in this explanation, both TT and both capital TT and capital and small TT tall plants here is given, while only it is the short plant. In other words, the single copy of T is enough to make the plant tall, while the both copies have to T for the plant to be short. Trait like T is called the dominant traits or dominant characters, or while those to become T are called recessive trait. Work out trait is called a recessive character. So now we can find out what is the difference between recessive character and dominant character. Next you see 9.4 figure. Here also figure the cross fertilization. This is one pink color flower and one green and white color flower. Now this pink color and green color white, pink is a paternal, green is maternal. So both cross fertilization takes place. Then it found the first generation always tall figure. That tall figure means pink. The paternal is maybe tall figure. The tall figure generation is coming. Then after self fertilization, then this tall figure F1 generation, when self fertilization takes place, that time is given the 3:1 fertilization process. That is the mainly we know the Mendel dehybridization process. So you remember this one. Here is given already. However, the would also F2 generation progeny that would show the new picture. Some would be tall, but we have wrinkled seed. The other will be short, then but have round seed. This is the tall, short trait and round seed, wrinkled seed trait are independently inherited. Another example of given. The additional is tomorrow. So have a good day, my dear student.